looking for love in all the wrong places. Internet users in Boston catfished, finding a guy with a gun instead of a date.
Plus, the worst is over. A November soaker moving out, but are we in the clear?
Then a dog takes a terrible tumble and winds up at the bottom of a well. How rescuers were able to pull him to safety.
Investigators digging through the debris, searching for answers after a plane comes crashing down, killing everyone on board. Mayhem at Mizzou. The campus in turmoil after racist threats appear on social media.
And parade problems in Marshfield.
I thought it was crazy.
The town calling off its annual Veterans Day parade.
But it wasn't because of the weather, the reason that has some people furious.
7 News at 10 starts now.
First at 10, catfished in Boston. Users on an online dating service attacked and robbed. Now Boston police are giving a stern warning about so-called catfishers.
And officers want to track down the people who are baiting their victims through fake dating profiles. The night team's Susan Tran live now in Boston with all the details. Susan, what's going on?
Elizabeth, these are criminals who are setting up these perfect profiles, alluring in and promising these absolutely amazing dates, but instead they end up robbing their victims.
Dating deception causing heartbreak in Boston.
It's really scary.
Boston police warning people who use online dating sites to be careful. Someone's catfishing, using a fake online persona to set up dates and then rob their victims.
Especially being alone and, talking over social media, it's usually just like a one-on-one kind of thing. So no one else would really know about it if you kind of go to meet them.
In the past 5 weeks, police say 6 people have been lured to home addresses in Roxbury and Mattapan. And instead of meeting the man of their dreams, it's a guy with a gun.
Naturally, it's a little freaky because it's someone that you were interested in, and the next thing you know, they're betraying whatever trust you thought you had.
Police now telling folks, don't be lured in. If the person online wants to meet but won't FaceTime, Skype, or web chat first, they could be hiding something. And be leery if their online profile is new or incomplete.
I'd probably look them up on Facebook, see if I know anyone they might know.
Finally, common sense is key. Trust your gut, not the seemingly picture-perfect profile.
It's something that might happen if you don't do your due diligence with making sure that you're meeting up with someone that you actually do know.
The final piece of advice from police: if you are meeting someone that you met online, make it a very public space. Live in Boston tonight, Susan Tran, 7 News Night Team.
Following breaking news right now, a brush fire breaks out in Los Angeles. The fire sparked about 2 hours ago and has quickly spread to 30 acres. Strong winds are fanning the flames. Firefighters are having trouble getting to the fire and are calling in extra engines for help. Right now, there are no reports of any injuries.
And we're following a developing story right now. A deadly officer-involved shooting at a construction site next to a hospital in San Francisco. Police say a fight broke out in the emergency room and quickly grew out of control. The night team's Brandon Gano live now in the control room with the developing details.
Liz, police say the gunman, a man in his 20s, robbed a sporting goods store and stole a rifle. Now, soon after, there was then some sort of a fight or argument near the emergency room with police. It then moved to a hospital under construction next door, according to witnesses on the ground. Now, intense video. You can see a SWAT team was called in. Streets were shut down. People told to stay inside. Here's, though, where it gets even more interesting. The man with the gun climbed to the top of that construction site. There was a standoff. Police were throwing flash grenades. Shots were fired, and police say the suspect was then killed. Now, the hospital, we're told, is reopening to the public, but quite a scare for everyone in that San Francisco neighborhood. I'm live in the control room. Brandon Gano, 7 News 19.
The night team now turning to the wet weather we've seen all day. Heavy rain and fierce wind making its way out of the Bay State. But are we in the clear? With one storm on its way out, another round of rain is heading on in. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Pete Bouchard.
All right, Liz. Yeah, that rain coming in tomorrow will not be as heavy as we saw today and last night, where we picked up close to 3 inches in East Mashpee, and Hingham also picked up close to 2, Braintree 0.7. Lesser amounts to our west from about Andover down through Natick, only 1/4 to 1/10 of an inch. Storm pulling away quickly, and now we're left over with just a little bit of drizzle, spotty at times. Otherwise, skies remain cloudy. Our next weather system up to bat coming through Chicago, moving quickly though, swiftly moving into our area by tomorrow afternoon. And it looks like we'll be in the showers as we go into the evening hours. This is a fast-moving weather system, so it will not stick around for Friday. On that particular day, we'll clear it out and finally bring back some sunshine. We'll talk more about this wet weather and a peek into the weekend coming up.
And remember, you can track the rain as it moves through our area using our interactive radar. You can find it over on our website and on our 7 News mobile and tablet apps.
Also from the night team, a call of concern from a gamer hundreds of miles away, and it leads to the arrest of a man in Lowell. So a Pennsylvania man contacted police after what sounded like a desperate call for help from another gamer while playing Call of Duty. They can do this online and play with people from all over the place. Let's get to Kimberly Bookman joining us live from Lowell to tell us more about what happened. Kimberly?
Well, Adam, I spoke to the woman at the center of all of this. She was very emotional tonight, didn't want to go on camera, but she said this was all misinterpreted, and she said blown out of proportion.
The video game Call of Duty is full of guns, fights, explosions. Early Tuesday morning, that dramatic violence became all too real for an Air Force vet in Pennsylvania who was playing the game with a woman in Lowell. He tells us by phone she told him she'd been kidnapped.
They said that they would kill her if she left the house.
So this Pennsylvania man called police several states away to report a stranger in trouble.
Dispatch gets a call from a person in Pennsylvania. He says he's playing an online game with a woman in Lowell who tells him she's being held against her will.
Police immediately went to do a well-being check at an apartment here on Wilder Street. They found the woman they were looking for, but police say she wasn't kidnapped. She had just had a fight with her boyfriend. She tells 7 News it's a case of miscommunication. But while investigators were in the apartment, they say they found something else entirely. A replica AR-15 assault rifle and drugs. They arrested and charged the woman's boyfriend, Jose White. The tipster says he did what he thought was right.
I wasn't trying to bust the entire house. I was mainly trying to help out a friend of mine with her health and well-being. This was the first time that I've done something like that, but I thought it was necessary that it needed to be done.
And the suspect is home tonight. He tells me over the telephone he was wrongly arrested. Reporting live from Lowell, Kimberly Bookman, 7 News Night Team.
Massachusetts Attorney General Maura Healey chiming into the fantasy fight between legal teams and DraftKings. She's not looking to shut down the Boston-based website, but says she wants to look at the legality of it and protect consumers. So this comes just one day after New York's AG ruled DraftKings and FanDuel illegal. Healey says just because this could be considered gambling doesn't necessarily make the sites illegal.
For me, it's about ensuring a level playing field for participants, ensuring that consumers are protected. We want fair advertising, fair disclosures, and I don't want to see people losing their homes or young people getting addicted. This is the focus of our Attorney General's office.
DraftKings said it will continue to take bets from New Yorkers while the site takes a look at all legal options.
There's new video out of Akron, Ohio. Surveillance video shows the fiery crash, and you can see the plane hitting the ground and then bursting into flames. And now investigators are searching for answers after the crash killed everyone on board. The Night Team's Ryan Schulteis joins us now live in the studio with more on this. Ryan?
And Liz, tonight we are learning more about a possible cause as family members of those on board try to deal with the loss of their loved ones. Surveillance video capturing the moment when a plane slams into an apartment complex in Ohio, bursting into flames. Then a thick cloud of smoke. Today, the NTSB turned their attention to one possible cause.
Weather, in fact, is one of the key areas that we'll be looking at very carefully.
The 10-seat jet was on approach to the Akron airport just before 3 p.m. yesterday. It was foggy and misting. The ceiling 400 feet, visibility just a mile and a half, which was barely above the FAA mandated landing conditions. Seconds after dropping through the clouds, the jet slammed into the building.
An airplane just crashed into these houses right in front of me.
Witnesses say the pilot looked like he was trying to gain altitude. Today we are learning that the left wing hit the ground before the plane hit the building.
I'm her sister.
Beth Blakely's sister Diane was on board.
That was confirmation that
Diane and 6 colleagues work at a property management company in Florida. Monday night, Diane texted her sister their busy 2-day itinerary as they visited properties across the Midwest.
they want to get her more exposure and things like that and have her be part of the team.
It will take days to officially identify the victims. 12 families who lived in and near that apartment complex are now without a home. In the newsroom, Ryan Schulteis, 7 News 19.
A big blast at a New Jersey home kills 1 and leaves 12 injured. You can see debris here fly after that explosion in this suburban neighborhood. And you can see from above the damage. Crews do not know the cause of the explosion, but they believe it is gas-related. 2 people are in critical condition. The other 10 are being treated at local hospitals.
Mayhem at the University of Missouri causing causing the state to step up their police presence on campus. Students have received threats in the midst of a campus-wide protest that led to the resignation of the school's president. One man has already been arrested after allegedly posting racial threats on social media. There have been reports of other bomb threats, and students and faculty are very concerned.
I'm getting a lot of messages about students feeling unsafe. I've heard rumors that the KKK are on campus. I thought I would come here and look for myself.
I heard that like people are kind of like shoot all black people tomorrow, or like, I don't know, like gun threats basically. I mean, who knows if any of it's real, but just don't want to be here in case it is real and stuff does go down.
Many students have left, leaving that campus deserted until police can sort everything out.
Now to the latest in the race for the White House. And a day after the Republican debate, candidates hit the trail again. That includes Donald Trump, who met with voters in Manchester, New Hampshire for breakfast. The night team's Byron Barnett was there and has more details for us.
A standing O for Donald Trump in Manchester, New Hampshire. After last night's debate, Trump was talking like a winner.
8 people on the stage, and one by one, they're disappearing. Disappearing. It's a beautiful thing to watch as they go out. Oh, I love it.
The Republican candidates spent much of their time on stage last night arguing their positions on national security and immigration. Trump was forced to defend his plan to deport undocumented immigrants, while other candidates said it couldn't be done.
Thank you.
Jeb Bush was in Iowa today serving coffee to veterans. He critiqued his own performance in the debate.
I thought it was fine. I did well. Talked about issues that are important to people. We need to start thinking about who's the person that can beat Hillary Clinton.
Marco Rubio also returned to campaign in Iowa, hoping for a post-debate bounce. And long lines and tighter security for Ben Carson, who is now under Secret Service protection. Today, Carson was back in front of a big crowd at a Christian college in Virginia, not talking about the debate, instead discussing his faith and values.
Isn't that part of the problem with our society today? People want to force their beliefs on everybody else.
Trump, who will also soon be getting Secret Service protection, was joined by 2 of his sons in Manchester.
He's going to do a great job for you and for this country. We're really proud of him, and we're just psyched to be here.
Byron Barnett, 7 News Night Team.
And Democratic presidential candidate Bernie Sanders honoring veterans up in New Hampshire today. He took part in a Veterans Day parade in Lebanon, New Hampshire. Sanders also spoke at a ceremony following the parade. And President Obama marking Veterans Day today at Arlington National Cemetery. The president honored veterans at the ceremony, laying a wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier. He also urged the country to keep veterans in our thoughts moving forward to make sure they get the care and benefits they have earned.
And a special Veterans Day celebration taking place at the State House today. Several current and former military families or members were honored for their service to our country. Governor Charlie Baker was in attendance and thanked the veterans for their bravery. The Veterans Day parade rolling through Boston this afternoon. Thousands of servicemen and women marched from the Boston Common to City Hall Plaza. Mayor Marty Walsh joined them and posed for pictures with a number of veterans throughout the day. And parade problems in Marshfield when the town cancels the annual Veterans Day parade. Town officials say there hasn't been enough interest, and now some people are outraged and pushing for change. The Night Team's Jonathan Hall has this story.
Veterans Day in Marshfield.
Every one of us today should go up, walk up to a veteran, say thank you so very much for your service.
Bundled up in a warm blanket, a World War II vet named Roger Hare, an Army man who served in the Pacific. And he's not happy there's no parade this year.
I thought it was crazy. It should be honoring the veterans.
But Roger was happy to get a handmade card from a little girl named Grace. Her mom had the idea.
The kids, I think, need to understand, again, veterans are an important part of our life, and we want to acknowledge them and thank them.
Marshfield has an all-volunteer, all-veteran parade committee. It was their call to cancel this year. It wasn't a lack of funding or the bad weather. They did it because of poor attendance in recent years.
We hope maybe this might be a wake-up call, and I can't wait to see what Memorial Day is going to be like.
To show their support for the veterans, hundreds turned out to attend the Veterans Day ceremony in a cold November rain.
Ironically, several towns canceled their parades and outdoor activities today because of this beautiful weather. But we're here.
A great turnout in wretched conditions.
Didn't matter the weather, we were coming anyway. That parade needs to make a comeback, yes, absolutely. And I have no doubt that it will next year.
There are high hopes that volunteers will step up and make a parade a reality next year. Roger Hare, the World War II veteran we spoke with, turns 89 after Thanksgiving, and he hopes to be in it. In Marshfield, Jonathan Hall, 7 News, Night Team.
All right, and there's more news here tonight. The Patriots gearing up to take a giant leap, ready to tackle their troubles with New York this weekend. The Giants, one of the few teams to challenge Tom Brady throughout his career. But tonight, he says he's ready. Our sports director, Joe Amorosino, is here with more details.
Tom Brady and the Patriots trying to remain undefeated this season and break a 3-game losing streak against the Giants that dates back to Super Bowl 42. Brady has learned to never underestimate a Tom Coughlin coach team.
They've always played us pretty tough, so we're expecting their best.
And on the biggest stages, Tom Brady and the Patriots get exactly that from the Giants.
And the New York Giants, given last rites by many in December, are the Super Bowl champs in February.
We've always had very, very close games against them, even when we won. Just haven't won them as many of them as I would have liked to have won. Big
Blue had Brady's number in Super Bowls 42 and 46, but neither of those games will be on his mind this Sunday in the Meadowlands.
I would much rather have won them than lost them, but you know, they won't have any bearing on this week or, you know, what the matchups are. It's a totally different team and game and situation and so forth.
Of greater concern to Brady, the Giants' opportunistic defense, whose 21 takeaways lead the league.
They've done a good job of that. They hold guys up, they rip the ball out, forced a lot of interceptions this year. They got a lot of playmakers. It's about good decision making and knowing when, you know, to cut your losses and get down and protect the ball and be ready for the next play. But you got to play aggressively. I mean, you can't knee on the ball 3 times and, you know, score a lot of points. So there's always risk reward to, you know, those decisions that you make when the ball's in your hand.
Facing the Giants defense is risky business. They've picked off opposing quarterbacks 13 times and recovered 7 fumbles, and 4 of those takeaways have been returned for touchdowns. Reporting live in the newsroom, Joe Amorosino, 7 News Night Team.
Well, there's much more to come here on 7 News at 10.
Coming up next, a dog down a well. How firefighters raced 25 feet down to make sure the pet got home safely.
Caught on camera, a man tased over and over again. Now investigators want to know if police went too far.
A huge snake sneaking out of someone's porch. The python slithering into trouble.
And our forecast is turning rainy once again, but this might be the last stand of rain for a while. That's coming up.
Then he's already played with U2, and now he wants to do it again. A local teen getting some help online.
And need to set your lineup? We'll tell you the Pats you'll want to start on your fantasy coming up in our Fantasy Fixer.